Water is a worldwide problem. It's not a South African problem. You know, Europe are in big trouble. The Far East are in big trouble. We have desecrated the planet, and there is no more clean water. You have to super purify water. Super, that means the reverse osmosis at its absolute best. And from there, you've got to build your wonder water. Then you know you're starting with something pure and clean. But a litre of wonder water for me is worth more than 5 litres of any other water.
Very little is taught to us doctors at medical school regarding water. Life and optimum living is a function of light, magnetism and water. If you look at our water sources in the world, we've come to a place in our contaminated society that most of the stuff that we drink is polluted, intentionally or unintentionally. Intentional pollution would be things like chlorine. There are water scientists out there that have discovered that we know so little about water. Water is probably one of the most understudied molecules we have in our planet. And without it, life will not be sustained. The energy house in any cell is the mitochondria, and the mitochondria is critically dependent on a good water supply. The other contaminant, intentional contaminant in our modern world is Wi-Fi and microwave towers, because we've embraced technology, and as time passes we're embracing it more and more and more. And what that technology is doing, it is dehydrating the microscopic nanotubules in the mitochondria of water, just like it would heat up all the water in a steak in the microwave oven. And all of us in the cities are living in a huge microwave oven, albeit on a very, very low setting, and it's dehydrating our mitochondria and it's robbing us of energy. Now, the type of water you drink will depend on whether it gets to the mitochondria or not. Structured water is a naturally occurring phenomena in many places in the world, notably Lourdes in France. The fact that they do not get a high incidence of heart disease, diabetes and cancer, and a lot of other Neolithic diseases. And it is all a function of their mitochondria working optimally, and if you get enough energy coming out of their mitochondria, you're guaranteed of health.
It's what we find with the hexagonal clustered waters at Lourdes, the miracle waters of Lourdes. If you took that water away from there, 6 or 7 hours later, it loses its hexagonal cluster ability to cluster in the form of a hexagon. It's because of the magnetic fields there. You know, the thing is that it just superhydrates and it just gets into the cells.
This negatively charged water is critical for cellular function, because most of the water inside your cells will adopt the structure, and it's vital for biochemical reactions. And if you don't get a good water source, you will not have good intracellular hydration, and therefore your biology will be compromised.
Wonder water did a lot for me. You know, it puts the medicines through my body much quicker. I sleep much better at night. I have much more energy. I have much more oxygen. You know, without the wonder water, I'm sure it'd be much worse. I'm drinking 2.5 liters a day. I'm actually walking a lot, which I couldn't do when they diagnosed me with this problem. What actually happened, I woke up one morning, went outside, had a smoke. My last smoke I said I was having. I bent down to help my dog who had a gammy leg. And when I stood up, I couldn't breathe. Just like that. I could not breathe. I couldn't get any air into my body. And like, you know, you haven't bent down and taken a breath, you know, you were unprepared for this sort of thing. Anyway, 30, 40 seconds went by, or half a minute, whatever, and I started to just breathe easy again. And that's when I knew I had this, they call it COPD. I'm a lot healthier than I was.
We got buggered up in the army, and let me tell you something. When you drank water, you know, we come from Port Elizabeth, a moderate climate, and we had to do our basics in Kimberley. And as youngsters, you're being pushed very, very hard. Look, the basics were rough, and especially during tainops. And you couldn't drink enough water, and you know your belly's swollen. You can't take enough water in, but you still feel thirsty. Your body's still saying, "I need more water," and that is exactly where hexagonally structured water comes in, because that water cannot penetrate your cells fast enough. Normal water cannot. You must see a smear on your blood, what it does 5 minutes after drinking, how the red blood cells separate. That's amazing. That we've done those tests with our reps, and it's been amazing. And so that's what's happening. You need to get it's no use getting the water into your stomach. You need to get the water into your cells. And that's where the superhydration, Wonder Water is the only water that superhydrates.
The first thing you have to do before you can have Wonder Water is purify it. So it's not just the way Rand Water, and I think Rand Water are doing a good job with what they've got, but you can't take Rand Water and make Wonder Water out of it. You must get rid of all the toxins, you must get rid of all the chemicals. Rand Water also put chlorine into the water, which is a good thing. If you don't put chlorine in water, you're going to have people die of all kinds of bacteria and stuff. But chlorine destroys the structures and the stuff that we want in Wonder Water. So before we can make Wonder Water, we must purify it. So put it through reverse osmosis. We're starting here with a very good spring, where already it's very pure water. Because we're a mining country, there's a lot of bad minerals in water as well. Your heavy metals, your things like mercury and cadmium and chromium. There's some places where you've got chrome 6 in the water. So we're going to have to take all of those things out before we can start making Wonder Water.
The TDS, total dissolved solids, is 6, where if you look at standard municipal water is around about 300. So the water that we get out of the borehole is very, very clean, but we still put it through the RO plant to prepare it for the Wonder Water.
The water that they compared it, we've compared it to some of the best waters in the world. I don't want to name the guys because it's big brand names. And we hydrate 13.5 times faster than any other water, in the world. So our water is basically, it goes into the cell faster. A rugby player, 80 minutes, some of these big guys lose up to 6 kilograms. And most of that is water. Now, if you lose 2% intracellular fluid, you lose about 20% performance. So if I can take that rugby player and give him Wonder Water half time and get it into the cell, he can perform much better. And we see this with the horses. Louis' horses are running excellent times and they're getting great results.
Superhydration, that's really what it is, superhydration. The best way for me to give you an example is if you took an anodin, it'll take 15 or 20 minutes to work for your headache. If you took it with Wonder Water, it'll take 4 or 5 minutes. It just superhydrates, it gets into the small cells, and that's the problem. Sometimes in the heat, you drink water, but you just feel you need more, and you can't drink any more. Well, that doesn't happen with Wonder Water, so we put horses onto it and it's changed the whole string around.
Because they are hydrated. If people start drinking our water, people come back and tell us what the water has done for them.
Gunther Wonder Water, Roggeman, congratulations, my friend.
Bondi, beautiful, beautiful. Louis brought this was the aim. I know how good he is. Louis knows how good he is. He's a phenomenal. He's always he can switch off. He's going to quick and he does everything. I mean, he makes my job. From the draw I popped him, he was there within 3 strides. Wonderful job. Louis brought him up, floated him up yesterday. He was very confident and I'm just very glad that I could do the job.
Sometimes I struggle to believe the stuff that my clients tell me. I'm not a doctor and we don't prescribe anything. You go to your doctor if you've got a disease or something, but if you want to use it with our water, I believe that our water will help. If you drink medication with this water, it will take it into the cell quicker and faster. I've had lots of people coming to me and say, listen, is it going to help? And I said, I don't know, drink the water, and if it does, come and tell me.
And the Wonder Water's working a charm.
The Wonder Water is fantastic.
It's not a medicine. It doesn't replace any medicine. All it does is it revitalizes your body. Also, it's an anti-aging product too, because the problem is as we get older we lose the intracellular hydration and it maintains that. But for me to be a scientist and to tell you exactly what it is, I don't know, and it's obviously patented, so it's a secret how they put it together.
And a lot of people come back. Sometimes we see people in 2-3 days, sometimes 2-3 weeks. The best way is to try it yourself. They say a man with an experience aren't left to the mercy of an argument. And we've got lots of experiences, people with experience with our product.
They've got a whole network who deliver to your doorstep in Gauteng, and the rest of the provinces will follow. Guys who want it for the horses, I know there's 1 or 2 turpentine trainers very interested at the moment. They're putting in an RO plant, and from there they'll put up the tanks and they would make the hexagonal declustered water for the horses. Very expensive for horses, but you'd use it in your runners the last few days. You couldn't put them all on every day. I've done that. I've had the privilege of doing that and seen massive differences.